I told my wife since she doesn't have my back, I won't take care of her daughter anymore. I've been in Sally's life since she was 5 years old. I'm the one who taught her to ride a bike in our driveway, spending 3 weekends straight running beside her until she got it. I attended every single parent-teacher conference for 12 years, while her bio dad lived overseas, sending maybe one birthday text annually, if we were lucky. I paid for her braces out of my own pocket, $4,000 because her bio dad said he couldn't afford it. I drove her to orthodontist appointments every month for 2 years. I'm the one she called crying when her first boyfriend broke up with her. I took her out for ice cream and let her vent for 3 hours. Last month, with junior year grades coming up, I told Sally I'd buy her the new iPhone 15 if she brought up her grades and got at least 2 A's. She'd been begging for it for months. She agreed immediately, seemed motivated, said she'd study harder. Test results came back 2 weeks ago. She failed math completely and didn't get anything above a C in her other classes. So, I told her no phone until she retakes the failed class and shows improvement by finals. I explained this wasn't punishment. It was about following through on agreements and taking school seriously. She absolutely lost it. Screaming, slamming doors, the whole teenager meltdown. I stayed firm. My wife backed me up at first. Told Sally we had rules for a reason. Then Sally called her bio dad overseas, crying about how unfair we were being and how she desperately needed this phone. He called me 2 hours later and I calmly explained our agreement about grades. He started yelling about me being too strict before hanging up mid-sentence. Typical of him. I thought that was the end of it. 2 days later, Sally came bouncing into the kitchen absolutely ecstatic, announcing her dad had ordered the iPhone 15 and it would arrive in 2 weeks. My stomach dropped. I found my wife in our bedroom. We had an agreement about this. She wouldn't look at me. Her father wanted to get it for her. They talked and decided. Why did you allow this? We made a deal with Sally together. She finally turned to me, and her face was cold. You need to stop interfering with Sally's business. You're not her father. Those words hit me like a punch to the chest. Not her father. The man who's been her father for 12 years, who stayed up through countless flu nights, who helped with hundreds of homework assignments, who paid for field trips and school supplies and soccer equipment, who walked her through her first heartbreak while her real dad couldn't even remember to call on Christmas. I took a deep breath. You're absolutely right. I'm not her father, so I'm done. I won't interfere anymore. My wife looked confused. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. Sally's nearly 18 anyway. She has a father, and apparently it's not me, so he can handle everything from now on. That Saturday morning, Sally came downstairs asking me to drive her to soccer practice like I had every Saturday for 6 years. Ask your father to take you. She blinks. What? Your father? The one who bought you the phone? Call him. Sunday night, she needed help with her history homework. She always came to me because I'm good at history. She knocked on my office door with her textbook. Your father can help you with that. Dad, come on. I'm not your dad. Remember? Your mother made that very clear. The parent-teacher conference reminder came in my email. Monday, I forwarded it directly to my wife with a note for Sally's father to attend. Tuesday, Sally asked if I could pick her up from her friend's house. Take an Uber or call your father. My wife pulled me aside Wednesday night while Sally was upstairs. What exactly are you doing? I looked at her calmly, following your instructions. I'm not her father. You made that extremely clear. So, I'm not interfering with Sally's business anymore. She has a father and he can handle all the father things. You're being ridiculous. No, I'm being exactly what you told me to be. Nothing more, nothing less. The phone arrived Thursday. Sally stopped studying entirely, spending every free moment on her new device. 3 weeks later, her school counselor called my wife about Sally's plummeting GPA. She was on track to lose her provisional scholarship to State University, the one I'd helped her apply for months ago. The scholarship required maintaining a 3.5 gigapascals, and she dropped to 2.8. My wife begged me to tutor Sally like I used to every night. I told her that her father should handle his daughter's education. The counselor called again yesterday, saying the scholarship committee wanted to meet with Sally's parents. My wife stood in front of me holding the meeting notice, and I watched her hands start to shake as she realized Sally's father wouldn't even answer his phone. Her voice cracked when she spoke. Please, you have to come to this meeting. Sally needs you. I looked up from my laptop where I'd been working. Sally needs her father. That's not what I meant, and you know it. She was crying now, actually crying. And honestly, I couldn't remember the last time I'd seen her cry. Maybe when her mom died 5 years ago. I made a mistake, okay? I shouldn't have said that. No, you shouldn't have, I said, keeping my voice level. But you did, and you meant it. You meant every word because it came out so easily when you were defending his decision to undermine us. She sat down on the edge of the bed, still holding that stupid meeting notice like it was a lifeline. The meeting is Friday at 2 p.m. If we don't show up, if we don't advocate for her, she's going to lose everything. Then her father better clear his schedule. I said, going back to my laptop. He's not going to come. You know he's not going to come. He's never come to anything. Exactly my point. I closed the laptop and looked at her. For 12 years, I've been the one to show up, every single time. And the one time Sally needed to be held accountable for her choices, you let him swoop in and save the day. So now he can save this day too. My wife just stared at me, and I could see her trying to find the words. But what could she say, really? We both knew I was right. She's going to hate you for this, she finally said. She already does. Saw her Instagram post last week. Apparently I'm a controlling psycho who ruins her life. I shrugged. At least now she has a reason. Thursday morning, Sally tried a different approach. She came into the kitchen where I was making coffee, and her eyes were all red like she'd been crying. "Hey," she said quietly, "can we talk?" I poured my coffee and didn't turn around. "About what?" "About the meeting tomorrow. I know you're mad at me and I get it, but I really need you there. The scholarship committee, they know you. You've been to every event, every event that your father should have been at but wasn't." I turned around then. "Sally, I'm not mad at you. I'm done. There's a difference. But you can't just stop being my dad because of one fight. I didn't stop being your dad. Your mother made it very clear that I never was your dad." I took a sip of coffee. I was just the guy who was there. And now, I'm not going to be there anymore because apparently I was interfering. She started crying for real then. Not the manipulative kind where she wants something, but the actual broken kind. And you know what? Part of me wanted to cave. Part of me wanted to pull her into a hug and tell her it would be okay like I'd done 100 times before. But I didn't. Because I'd seen her Instagram. I'd seen what she really thought of me when she thought I wouldn't see it. "Please," she sobbed. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll delete the posts. I'll tell everyone I was wrong. Just please don't let me lose this scholarship. Your father can help you with that." I walked past her and headed to my home office. Friday came. The meeting was at 2 p.m. I knew because my wife had reminded me 6 times that morning. At 1:45, I was in the guest house in our backyard, the one we'd built 2 years ago thinking we'd use it for guests, but never really did. I'd moved some of my stuff there earlier that week, not everything, just enough to make a point. At 2:15, my phone started blowing up. Texts from my wife. "They're asking where you are. Sally is crying. They need both parents here. Please." I turned my phone off. At 6 p.m., they came home. I heard the car pull up, heard the doors slam. I stayed in the guest house. Around 7, my wife knocked on the door. I let her in because, unlike her, I still had some basic decency. "She lost it," my wife said flatly. "The scholarship. It's gone. They said without both parents there to advocate for her and show we're committed to her education, they can't justify giving her the money. Her father should have been there then. He didn't answer his phone. I called him 15 times. Not my problem." I sat back down at the small desk I'd set up. "You made it very clear whose problem it is, and it's not mine." My wife's face went from sad to angry in about 2 seconds. "You know what? You're being a child. This is childish and petty, and you're punishing a 17-year-old girl for something I said. No, I'm respecting your wishes. You said I'm not her father. You said I need to stop interfering. So I stopped. This is what you wanted. This is not what I wanted. Then you should have thought about that before you said it." I pulled out my laptop. "Now, if you don't mind, I have work to do." She stood there for another minute, maybe hoping I'd change my mind, but I didn't. Eventually, she left. Through the window, I could see the lights on in the main house. I could see Sally's silhouette in her room, probably on that new phone her daddy bought her. The next week was quiet. Too quiet. Sally stopped asking me for anything. She'd walk past me in the morning without saying a word. My wife and I barely spoke. I'd come into the main house to grab clothes or food, but I was spending most of my time in the guest house. Then, Wednesday happened. I needed to grab some files from my office in the main house. It was around 10 a.m., and I figured everyone would be gone. But when I walked in, I heard my wife on the phone in the kitchen. She was talking low, like she didn't want anyone to hear. I know, she was saying. "It's a lot of money, but you said you needed it to get the business going, and I wanted to help." I stopped in the hallway. "No, he doesn't know. I've been transferring it from our joint account little by little. He never checks the statements." My blood ran cold. "Maybe another 1,000 next month? I can make it work." A pause. "I miss you too." I walked into the kitchen. My wife spun around, her face going pale. "I have to go," she said quickly and hung up. "Who was that?" I asked, even though I already knew. "Nobody. Just a friend. Try again." She set her phone down on the counter, and I could see her hands shaking. "It's not what you think. Really, because I think you've been sending money to Sally's bio dad from our joint account without telling me. How much?" She didn't answer. "How much?" I asked again, louder this time. "I don't know exactly." I pulled out my phone and opened our bank app. It took me about 10 minutes of scrolling through statements, but I found them. Regular transfers. $500 here, $800 there, $1,200 the month before that. Going back almost 2 years. $30,000, I said, and my voice sounded weird, like it was coming from far away. "You sent him over $30,000. He was struggling. He needed help getting back on his feet. Getting back on his feet? I laughed, but it wasn't a funny laugh. He lives overseas. He has a job. He just doesn't want to pay child support or help with anything Sally related. He's trying to start a business. With my money, you stole from me to give to him. It's our money. Joint account. Joint means we both know about it. Joint means we both agree. I was shaking now. Actually shaking. $30,000. That's almost a year of Sally's college tuition. That's more than I spent on her braces, her soccer, her everything combined. And you just gave it to him? My wife was crying again. I was trying to help him. He's Sally's father. I thought if he got stable, he could be more involved. He doesn't want to be involved. He never wanted to be involved. That's why he left. I grabbed my phone. I'm going to the bank. What? Why? To move my money somewhere you can't touch it. I left her standing there and drove straight to our bank. By 2 p.m., I'd opened a new account in just my name and transferred every penny I'd put into that joint account. I left exactly $47.23 in there. Then I called our credit card company and canceled all the cards. All of them. Sally's, my wife's, the emergency one in the glove box. I didn't go back to the house. I went to my office downtown and worked until 8 p.m. My phone was blowing up the whole time. Texts, calls, voicemails. I ignored all of them. When I finally got home around 9, all the lights in the house were on. I parked in the driveway and walked to the guest house. I'd barely gotten inside when I heard banging on the door. "Open this door right now!" My wife was screaming. "What did you do? What the hell did you do?" I opened the door. She was standing there with Sally, both of them looking furious. "My card got declined!" Sally shouted. "At Target! In front of everyone!" "Mine too," my wife said, her voice shaking. "At the grocery store. I had a full cart and I couldn't pay. Do you know how embarrassing that was?" "I moved the money," I said calmly, "and I canceled the cards." "You can't do that!" "I just did." I started to close the door, but my wife pushed it back open. "That's our money. You can't just take it all. It's my money. I earned it, and I'm done having it stolen from me." I looked at Sally. "Your dad can buy you whatever you need. He's got 30 grand of my money to work with." "This is insane." My wife was screaming now, really screaming. "You're trying to control us." "No, I'm protecting myself from you." I pulled out my phone and showed her the bank statements. 2 years. 2 years you've been sending him money behind my back. Did you think I'd never find out? She didn't have an answer for that. "I changed the locks too," I said. "You can get in through the front door." I didn't change that one. "But my office and the guest house are off limits now." "This is my house too." "Then pay your share of the mortgage." "Oh wait, you can't, because you sent all your money to your ex." I closed the door in her face and locked it. They banged on the door for another few minutes, but I put in headphones and ignored them. Eventually, they left. The next morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls from my wife and about 40 texts. Most of them were variations of, "We need to talk and this is ridiculous and you're being abusive." That last one made me laugh. Abusive, right? Because protecting my own money after she stole from me is abuse. I got up, showered, and got ready for work. When I walked out of the guest house, I saw Sally sitting on the back porch steps. She looked like she hadn't slept. "Hey," she said quietly when she saw me. I didn't answer, just kept walking toward the garage. "I'm sorry," she called after me. "About the Instagram posts. About everything. I was wrong." I stopped, turned around. "You were wrong about what, specifically?" She stood up, wiping her eyes. "About calling you a psycho. About saying you ruined my life. You didn't. I did. I failed those classes and I blamed you for holding me accountable." "Okay. Okay?" She looked confused. "That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say, Sally? That it's fine? That I forgive you?" I shook my head. "You're 17. You're going to make mistakes. But I'm not your dad, remember? So I don't have to forgive you or not forgive you. That's your real dad's job. But you are my dad. You raised me. You were there for everything. And the second I held you accountable for something, your mom told me I wasn't your father and needed to stop interfering. So I did. That's what you both wanted." I got in my car and drove to work, but I couldn't focus. I kept thinking about that conversation, about Sally's face when I drove away. And you know what? I didn't feel good about it. But I didn't feel bad either. I just felt done. Around lunch, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Hello? Is this the emergency contact for Sally Henderson?" My stomach dropped. "Yes. What happened? Is she okay?" "I'm calling from the school. Sally was caught cheating on a test using her phone. She's been suspended for 3 days and we need a parent to come pick her up." "I'll let her mother know," I said. "Sir, you're listed as the primary emergency contact. We need you to come get her." "I'm not her father. Contact her mother." "We did. She's not answering. You're our next call." I hung up. Then I called the school back and asked to speak to the principal. When he got on the line, I explained the situation, that I was no longer involved in Sally's education or care, that her biological father needed to be contacted, that I wanted my name removed from all school paperwork effective immediately. "Mr. Henderson, I don't think you understand." "No, I understand perfectly. I'm not her legal guardian. I have no rights to make decisions about her education, so I shouldn't be listed as an emergency contact. remove my name, add her biological father. I gave them his phone number. He lives overseas, so you might have trouble reaching him, but that's not my problem. Sir, Sally needs to be picked up today. Then her mother needs to pick her up. I'm not coming. I hung up and blocked the school's number. That evening, I went to the main house to grab some more clothes. My wife was in the living room with Sally, who was crying again. When they saw me, they both started talking at once. The school called me 6 times, my wife shouted. I was in a meeting. I couldn't answer. They said you refused to come get her. You had her suspended, Sally yelled. They said you told them to remove you from my file. Now I can't enroll in the alternative school program because I don't have a parent's signature. Your father can sign, I said, heading toward the bedroom. He won't. He blocked my number. I've been trying to call him all day and he blocked me. I stopped. He what? Sally held up her phone, showing me the screen. It says I'm blocked. I can't call or text him. He blocked me after I asked him to help with the scholarship meeting. My wife was standing now. This is what you wanted, isn't it? You wanted to prove a point, and now Sally's life is falling apart. I didn't want this. You did. Both of you. You wanted me out of the picture, so I got out of the picture. This is what happens when I'm not there to catch you when you fall. She's 17. My wife's voice cracked. She's a child. She's your child, not mine. You made that perfectly clear. I grabbed a duffel bag from the closet and started throwing clothes into it. And while we're on the subject of things falling apart, I had a consultation with a divorce attorney yesterday. The room went silent, like completely silent. I could hear the clock ticking in the hallway. You what? My wife whispered. Divorce attorney. Just information gathering at this point, but I wanted to know my options. I zipped up the bag. Turns out when someone steals from a joint account for 2 years, that's considered dissipation of marital assets. The court doesn't look kindly on that. You're not serious. I'm completely serious. I threw the bag over my shoulder. I'm done being a doormat. I'm done being the guy who shows up to everything while her real dad does nothing. I'm done being told I'm not her father by you, and then being expected to act like her father when it's convenient. Sally was sobbing now, the kind of crying where you can barely breathe. Please don't leave, please, I'm sorry. I'll fix it. I'll fix everything. You can't fix this, Sally. This isn't about you anymore. This is about your mother choosing your deadbeat father over me for 12 years and me finally realizing I don't have to put up with it. I walked out. My wife followed me into the hall, grabbing my arm. Wait, just wait. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. Can we? I pulled my arm away, because I found something else when I was going through our accounts. You've been talking to him about more than just money, haven't you? About potentially we're kindling things if he ever moves back to the country? Her face went white. Yeah, I saw the texts when I was transferring the money. So no, we can't fix this. We're done. I walked out to the guest house and locked the door behind me. I could hear them crying in the main house. Both of them, but I didn't care anymore. I was out of caring. The next few days were a blur. My wife tried apologizing. She slipped notes under the guest house door. She sent long texts explaining how she never meant for things to go this far, how she was just trying to help Sally's father because she felt guilty about the divorce, how she never wanted to rekindle anything. The texts were taken out of context. I didn't respond to any of it. Sally's grandmother called me. That was interesting. My wife's mom, who I'd always gotten along with pretty well. What the hell is going on? She demanded as soon as I picked up. My daughter just called me crying, saying you're leaving them? Did she tell you why? She said you're angry about some money. $30,000. She stole $30,000 from me over 2 years and gave it to Sally's biological father without telling me. Silence on the other end of the line. Grandma, I said, you still there? $30,000? Her voice was different now, quieter. She gave that worthless piece of garbage 30,000 of your dollars? Yes, ma'am. And she didn't tell you? Nope. More silence. Then, that son of a bitch left my daughter pregnant and alone. He went overseas to find himself and never came back. He sent maybe $500 total in child support over the years. He missed Sally's entire childhood. She sighed. And my daughter gave him $30,000? Plus, she's been texting him about potentially getting back together if he moves back. Jesus Christ. I heard her telling someone else what I'd just told her. Probably Grandpa. Then she came back on the line. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I always thought you were too good for this family. You don't have to apologize. Yes, I do. You raised Sally when her real father ran away. You paid for everything, showed up to everything, loved that girl like she was your own. And my daughter threw that in your face. She was crying now. I'm going to call her. She needs to hear some hard truths. She won't listen. She'll listen to me. She hung up. 20 minutes later, my wife was banging on the guest house door again. What did you say to my mother? She just called me screaming. She said she's ashamed of me. She called me a fool. I opened the door. I told her the truth. That's all. She said I was an idiot for sending him money. She said I was throwing away a good man for a deadbeat. She said, my wife's voice broke. She said you were more of a father to Sally than her real dad ever was. She's right. I know. She was full on sobbing now. I know she's right. I made a horrible mistake. I should never have said you weren't her father. I should never have sent him that money. I was stupid and wrong and I'm sorry. Okay? Okay? That's it? What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? That we can just go back to how things were? I shook my head. I can't do that. You meant what you said to me that day. You meant it when you said I wasn't her father. And you know what the worst part is? You said it so easily, like you'd been thinking it all along and just finally said it out loud. That's not true. It is true, and I've been thinking about it. About all the times over the years you've let him undermine me. Every time he called, you'd take his side. Every time Sally wanted something and I said no, you'd find a way to let her have it anyway. Every time I tried to be a parent, you made me feel like I was overstepping. I looked at her. You never really saw me as Sally's father, did you? I was just the guy who was there while you waited for him to come back. She didn't answer. Because she couldn't. Because I was right. I'm moving out, I said. Not just to the guest house. Moving out completely. I'll be gone by the weekend. No, you can't. Please. I'll make it right. I'll cut off all contact with him. I'll pay you back every penny. You can't pay me back. You don't have any money because you gave it all to him. I started closing the door. It's too late. I heard my true feelings. You wanted me to stop being her father, so I stopped. And now you get to deal with the consequences. I closed the door and locked it. She stood outside, crying for a while, but eventually she left. Friday afternoon, I rented a storage unit and a U-Haul. I'd been packing all week, just my personal stuff. Clothes, books, electronics, tools from the garage that I'd bought. I didn't want anything of hers. I just wanted what was mine. Saturday morning at 6 a.m., I started loading the truck. By 8 a.m., Sally and my wife came outside. You're really leaving, Sally said. It wasn't a question. Yep. Where are you going? Apartment downtown. Already signed the lease. I loaded another box. Can I visit you? I stopped and looked at her. Why would you want to? I'm not your dad, remember? Stop saying that. She was crying again. You are my dad. I don't care what my mom said, you're my dad. Then why did you post all over Instagram that I was a controlling psycho who ruined your life? I was mad, I was stupid. I didn't mean it, but you said it. Just like your mom said I wasn't your father. You both said things you can't take back. I closed the truck door. I'm done, Sally. I'm done being the backup parent. I'm done being the guy who's only good enough when your real dad isn't available. He blocked me, she shouted. I tried to call him to help with the suspension and he blocked my number. He doesn't want me. I know, and I'm sorry about that. I really am. But that's not my problem to fix anymore. My wife came forward. Please, just please, don't do this. Think about what you're doing. You're throwing away 12 years, throwing away our family. I'm not throwing anything away. You did that when you chose him over me. I walked past her to the house to grab one more box. I'm just finally accepting it. I made 3 more trips, loading everything I owned into that truck. My wife and Sally just stood there watching. When I was done, I closed up the truck and got in the driver's seat. My wife ran to the window. You can't just leave us with nothing. The mortgage, the bills, Sally's school fees. Figure it out, I said. Call your ex, the one you sent 30 grand to. Maybe he can help. He won't answer. I've been trying to call him all morning and he won't answer. I turned the key in the ignition. Not my problem. Wait. She was full on panicking now. What about Sally's school? What about her future? You can't just abandon her. I'm not abandoning her. She has a father. He can take care of her future. I put the truck in reverse. He's engaged, she screamed. He finally answered and told me he's engaged to someone else. He said he wants nothing to do with us. I stopped the truck, put it back in park, looked at her through the window. He said, what? She was sobbing so hard she could barely talk. He's engaged. He met someone over there. They're getting married in 3 months. He said he's done sending money, done pretending to care about Sally, done with all of it. He said we're on our own now. Wow. I put the truck back in reverse. Sounds like a real great guy. Good thing you sent him all that money to help him get on his feet. Please don't leave us like this. Like what? The same way he left you? The same way you told me to leave Sally's life? I looked at Sally, who was standing behind her mom, looking completely broken. I'm sorry you're going through this. I really am. But I tried to be your dad for 12 years and your mom told me I wasn't. So now you get to figure it out with the parent you do have. I drove away. In the rearview mirror, I could see them standing in the driveway. My wife had collapsed to her knees. Sally was just standing there, watching me leave. I didn't look back again.